Hi, I'm Tay the trainer. I'm with Jen Loves Pets, and today I'm going to be teaching about the importance of muzzle training. Now, I know when people hear the word muzzle, they think it's for aggressive, scary, bad dogs, and that it means bad things, but really the muzzle is more like a seatbelt. It's saying, hey, I hope there's not an emergency, but if there is, I want you to feel secure. So the muzzle can be used for any dog. I think every dog should be muzzle trained. They are pretty much standard protocol in case of emergency. So if your dog is in an accident or something, when the authorities arrive on the scene, one of the first actions they will probably take is putting a muzzle on your dog. Now, if that's your dog's first experience with a muzzle, they're probably going to handle it very poorly. They're probably going to be even more afraid than they already were. If your dog loves their muzzle, though, and are in a scary situation, then get a muzzle put on them. It might actually help them relax a little bit because they know, oh, the muzzle brings good things. Muzzles are also helpful for a wide variety of things. It's helpful for dogs who are aggressive to expand their world more. They can experience more because you have the safety blanket of if they start getting overwhelmed, they're not going to cause any actual damage. The main reason that I use a muzzle is because she likes to pick up a lot of stuff in the back of my car. And when I'm driving, it's really hard to train those moments. So this is just to help me. She just wears it in the car so that I don't have to worry about her picking up anything dangerous that happens to be in the back of the car. So there's a million and one good uses for muzzles, and we're just going to go ahead and show you how to get a dog started with muzzle. Granted, she already likes her muzzle, she already knows her muzzle, so I'm going to imitate how I got her to know the muzzle, but don't expect your dog to have the exact same reaction because she already has a very positive association with her muzzle, and your dog will probably have a more neutral association if they've never seen it before. If your dog has seen the muzzle before and has had a poor experience with it, then they will probably have a harder time with these early steps. So make sure you go at your dog's pace and that you train it out of context. Don't put the muzzle on only when you're going to need it. Start training the muzzle when you're just hanging out and everything is calm and easy. So the way that we start muzzle training, the way that I like to start muzzle training is by just having it live in the environment and having good things come from it. So oftentimes what I will do is just put the muzzle down on the floor so it's not moving, it's not anything big or scary, and then I will play with my dog around it. We will train around it. It will just be in the environment, just a normal thing. And then whenever my dog chooses to interact with it at all, I will give them a treat. Now, I will never force them to go for a treat in the muzzle. If they are putting their faces in the muzzle at all, they will get treats as far in as they are willing to go. So let me repeat that. If the dog sniffs the outside of the muzzle, I will put the treat on the outside of the muzzle. If the dog sniffs the inside of the muzzle, just at this outer rim, I will put the treat right at the outer rim. I will not be putting treats through here until the dog is sticking their whole face in by choice. So I'll just quickly show you what it looks like with Wish, and she's going to decide what she wants to do with this. Again, I'm going to have it on the floor. It's not going to be in my possession, causing any sort of extra stress. And I'm just going to talk about it like it's amazing. So it doesn't really matter what you say, but it just matters how you say it. So I'm going to say, oh my gosh, the thing is so cool. I love it so much. Good girl. Yes. And every time she chooses to interact with it, she gets marked with a YES. And then a treat right by where she was interacting with it before. What do you think of this thing? This thing is so cool. Do you like it? Oh, I like it a lot. Yes, good girl. So she shoved her nose down at the bottom. She didn't really go into the muzzle, so I'm not going to put the treat in the muzzle. Good job. I'm going to put it on the floor. What a cool thing that is. I like this thing. Wow. What do you think? So she's not getting any treats or rewards from me for doing anything, yes, good girl, except interacting with the muzzle. And it's going to make her more deliberate about interacting with the muzzle. Thank you, sweetheart. You're a good girl. Wow, look at this thing. This is pretty cool. What do you think of that? Yes, good girl. Oh, are you going to put your mouth on it? That's not super helpful. So I'll put the treat right in front of it. Good girl. Wow, that's so nice. Yes, good girl. Again, she's being a little more deliberate. She shoved her nose a little bit into the muzzle. I'm just staring at it. I'm not giving her any other things to look at. Oh, yes, good girl. And she shoved her nose halfway into the muzzle. Again, this is 100% her choice. I'm not bribing her. This is so cool. Do you like it? I like that a lot. Oh, what a cool thing. And it's entirely up to her. You can see she's got really relaxed body language. Her ears are forward. Hey, sweetie. Her hip is popped. Her leg is out. She's just chilling. And that's what I want. I want, yes, good girl. I want her to have a nice, calm association and reaction when she sees the muzzle. She should be happy that it's here. She should enjoy the time that she gets to spend with her muzzle. I think it's so cool. I like it a lot. What do you think? Do you think it's cool? What do you think of the muzzle? So I'm tired of this training. This is silly. Yeah, it is pretty silly, huh, good girl? You're a very good girl. Her hip popping the other way. She's trying to make a point of her relaxation. It's a good girl. Your dog at first may not want to come and touch the muzzle, and that's okay. If the muzzle is here and your dog is here, and that's the closest they want to get, then that's where they get their treat, right? Your dog does not have to touch the muzzle until they are ready. This is the most important part. If you force a muzzle on a dog who's not ready, then they are not going to have a positive yes association with their muzzle. And that is, that's where we're going to find a lot more problems. They're not going to want to put on their muzzle. They're going to start developing bad feelings towards it, and that's not okay. The muzzle needs to only bring amazing things. What a good girl. Yeah. That was so good. What do you think? Is that pretty cool? I think it's pretty cool. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Good girl. So she's playful. She's relaxed. This is the attitude that your dog should be having around the muzzle. If they have something else, then you need to slow down. Yes, good girl. Just shoving her nose in. Just knowing, putting my nose in this thing brings me good stuff, right? Good girl, Mish. So I'm just going to do a couple more. And make sure that whatever you do following a muzzle training session is really rewarding. So if your dog loves to fetch, then immediately after we're done with the muzzle, we're going to play fetch. What do you think? Yes, good girl. Keep in mind that this training is really exhausting. It doesn't look like they're doing much, but it is mentally exhausting to have to trust putting your face into a basket, right? What do you think? Is this cool? Yeah. Good girl. My voice is also very calm. Good girl. Yeah, you're doing so nice. Yes, good girl. Nice job. Yes, good girl. Good. Yes. You can see she's forcing her nose further and further into the muzzle. Good job. Yes, she's pretty much all the way there. It's a little upside down, but that's okay. That's a good girl. Yes. So I'm not doing anything to direct her towards the muzzle. She's just picked up. That's what's getting her the good stuff. So that is the very beginning, yes, of muzzle training. That's what it should look like. Good girl. Good job, Lish. And then if your dog isn't chewing on it or trying to tear it up, good girl. Trying to tear it up, your muzzle can then start living in the environment, and it can just be around. It can just be a normal thing and a normal part of their life. If you are looking for other ways to really help your dog get comfortable with their muzzle, you can also use it like a work to eat. So that you can take their meals, right? Put the muzzle down like this. Oh, very much in view. Put the muzzle down where the basket's downwards, right? Take their meal and just drop it through the top. Right? And then the dog gets to work their way through. You can also let go of the muzzle so they can choose to just eat around the bottom of it, or they can go through the top. It's totally your dog's choice how hard they want to work for these, but all of the stuff that every single interaction that they're having with the muzzle is positive, and it's going to make wearing the muzzle easier. Good job. Good job.